I have always been attracted to the harsh charm of the American West, the idea of vast landscapes under an endless sky, where secrets are hidden in the gorges of deserted canyons beckoned me. My name is Emily Harper, and I arrived in the small town of Silver Creek, Nevada, on a warm October evening when the sun colored the horizon in shades of orange and gold. As I entered the city, I felt hidden tension. Local residents made it clear with their wary views and restrained conversations that not everyone welcomes guests among foreigners. And yet I was determined to solve the mystery that haunted Silver Creek, a series of strange events that have troubled the community for months. The first night in my little rental hut, located on the outskirts of the city, was restless. As I lay in bed, the wind howled, carrying with it faint echoes of something that sounded like distant screams. I dismissed it as a figment of my imagination, but something deeper bit me. At dawn, I met the local sheriff, a strict man named Tom, who seemed like a mixture of charm and wariness. "What brought you to Silver Creek, Miss Harper?" he asked, looking intently at my gaze. I explained my interest in strange events in the city. He frowned, urging me to be careful and avoid going outside alone, especially after dark. The burden of his warning pressed on my chest, but my curiosity did not waver. Over the next few days, I began my investigation by talking to the townspeople and collecting stories. Each conversation revealed new layers of Silver Creek's mysteries. Rumors of a curse were heard, a forgotten legend that told of lost souls wandering the hills, seeking revenge for the terrible injustices of decades past. A woman named Clara, who owned a local diner, told how her brother disappeared last summer, just as the first rumors of strange events began. Her eyes glistened with unspent tears, and I felt a responsibility to help her find a conclusion. Determined to reveal the truth, I noticed an old mine looming in the distance, a relic of Silver Creek's prosperous past. Tom reluctantly agreed to accompany me, his facial expression a mixture of anxiety and defensive mood. As we approached the mine, the atmosphere changed. The air became heavy, saturated with eerie silence that engulfed our steps. Inside, a shimmering beam of our flashlights illuminated the battlements, revealing carvings depicting scenes of despair, an ominous warning of what lay ahead. We delved into the mine, driven by curiosity and a growing sense of horror. Suddenly, a cold breeze swept through the tunnel, extinguishing our lights and plunging us into darkness. The air became icy, and I felt someone's presence, whispering something ancient and sinister. Tom grabbed my hand. His voice was a muffled whisper. "We need to get out of here." At that moment, we both realized that what haunted these depths was real. We raced to the exit, our hearts pounding in sync with the echoes of the steps that seemed to haunt us. Back in the safety of daylight, we sat outside the mine, breathing heavily, trying to figure out what had just happened. "There is something here, something related to the history of the city," I said. Tom's expression was bleak when he told an old story about a mining accident that claimed several lives and spawned a legend of troubled souls. Inspired by our meeting, I went back to Clara to learn more about her brother. She revealed that he was obsessed with the mine, convinced that it held the key to the city's problems. I realized that if I wanted to help her, I needed to dive deeper into these dark waters. As I continued my investigation, I came across old newspaper clippings detailing the mine accident and the subsequent eerie events. The more I excavated, the more I felt the invisible thread that dragged me to payback. Clara's brother was last seen heading to the mine days before his disappearance. Feeling the burden of newfound responsibility, I gathered my evidence and approached Tom. Reluctantly, he agreed to accompany me back to the mine, this time not only with flashlights, a map, old reports, and a determination to reveal the truth. Entering the mine a second time was different. There was a sense of urgency in the air.
We made our way through the dark passages, stacking signs and stories, until we reached the cell where the remains of the mine accident lay intact. In dim light, we found the skeletal remains of a miner, long forgotten but identifiable. The atmosphere was tense, and suddenly I felt a surge of energy. It seemed as if the souls of the dead were begging to be recognized so that they could tell their story. As we explored the camera, the temperature dropped sharply. Tom and I exchanged concerned views. Suddenly, echoes of painful screams filled the air, drowning out our fears. The shadows began dancing along the walls, revealing the tragic story that formed Silver Creek. It dawned on me that Clara's brother might not be dead, but trapped in this cycle of torment between two worlds. As I put together the layers of this dark story, my determination hardened. I couldn't leave without helping him find peace. In a last-ditch attempt, I began to speak to the spirit of the miner, expressing remorse and recognition of the pain caused by the past. The screams intensified, and the shadows merged into a figure that I recognized in Clara's brother's photos. Tom clenched my hand tighter as I called him. With a rush of emotions, I urged him to let go of the pain, to return to the light. As I spoke, the air changed. The screams subsided, and for the first time, a sense of peace enveloped the room. The shadows began to dissolve, and in a moment, the oppressive energy disappeared. Returning to Silver Creek, I watched as the townspeople slowly returned to their lives, their haunted expressions beginning to soften. Clara looked at me with tears in her eyes. Her brother's spirit was finally free. The darkness that had plagued Silver Creek for years dissipated. As I packed my things to go, I felt a deep connection with this place, these people, and the story that wove us together. Silver Creek revealed its secrets, and while the past can never be changed, it paved the way for a brighter future. My heart was filled with gratitude as I looked at the horizon for the last time, knowing that sometimes the scariest stories lead to the most powerful transformations.